Hello and welcome to round 10 of the Invictus Racing League F1 League at China tonight. And as you can see, 5 minutes left in the session and we've come out on the medium tyres, so we've not set a lap yet. We've just, I think I did one out lap on the softs just to check everything was, just check my full speed back and everything, but yeah, so not done any qualifying laps yet, and that's just because the medium is a much better race tyre. Medium to hard is a much better strategy than the soft to hard, so essentially it's a one-shot quali now. We've got one chance. I did put enough fuel in to do 2 laps if I invalidated, but yeah, we've got one chance to set a pretty decent lap. We're looking to qualify P11 because I did want to start on the hards, so that's the aim, is P11. So we can do the hards and medium, but we cross the line now to start our lap. Decent exit of the final corner. First corner pretty tricky, missed the apex slightly. You've just got to let it roll in, try and keep nice and tight to the inside on this left-hander, and then tricky traction zone on the exit, short shift into 4th and 5th, but then flat down here, late on the brakes through here. Missed the apex and lock up slightly again through that right-hander, but it's a fairly clean lap so far, which is what we want. Flat through the left-hander and then down to 4th through this right-hander. Oversteered slightly, but it's fine. We're struggling through here in practice with traction on the exit, but get it nice and clean that time. And then coming through here, this is also another tricky corner, easy to lose it through here. So nice and easy, and then another very tricky traction zone on the exit here before the really long straight down to the heavy braking zone of the hairpin, open DRS up to 205, 206 miles an hour brake at the 100 into second, nice and clean through there, clean on the exit as well. And then last corner, just got to try not to invalidate, which we do. We keep it nice and clean to the line, open DRS. We do a 130.5, which puts us in 8th for the time being, first of the medium runners, but we want to be in 11th. That's the place we want to be, so that we can start on the hard tyres. So as we skip here, this is when we've retired. This is a few people got to set the laps. You can see we're in 10th, so Harry, who's championship leader, or won the championship at this point, still got to set a lap as he comes through the final corner now, and he goes to 12th. So we stay P10. Harry said apparently he just didn't set as good a lap as me, which I do not believe for a second, because I know he also wanted to qualify at the side of the top 10. So frustrating that we got to start on the mediums we qualified on, but it's not the end of the world. It's still better than starting on the softs. I think we're second of the medium runners. J. Cole is starting in 8th, also on the mediums, and then Scope on the softs in between us two. So it's still a decent position to be starting from. Can still do a lot from here. So you can see the 2 Renaults behind us on the hards. So yeah, they're going to be going longer, and then we'll be very quick at the end of the race on the medium tyres. So as per usual, just want to have a clean start, although I was trying to be more aggressive this race because I've been losing out on the starts. So yeah, just looking to have a good race from here. So 5 red lights come on now. They're out, and it's a pretty awful getaway even compared to the 2 Renaults on the hards behind us. It's not great. But as we send it into turn 1 now, braking quite late. You can see both Renaults on our inside. Hold it around the outside of them. Keep it nice and clean through here, and actually get up the inside of J. Cole, who gets pretty poor traction out of there. So now alongside him, coming into the hairpin on the outside. Brake a bit later than he does, and then get a better run out of the hairpin, so we hold on to, or we move up to 9th even. So actually making up a position on the start, which is been a bit of a rarity this season. So decent start, and now we are the first of the non-soft runners. So you can see me and J. Cole on the mediums, and then Harry, and I believe Hercules is behind him on the hards. So we're in a good position now for this race. We should have better pace within probably 3 laps. We should be better or the same pace as the soft runs. So just want to hang on to them for now, and then yeah, see what we can do when our pace improves in comparison to them. As you can see, braking nice and early into the hairpin, just so we don't risk hitting the back of Scopefielder. Just want to see, keep it nice and clean as usual. So as we move on to lap 4 now, it's been a bit of a DRS train up to this point. Scopefielder pits, and that gives us a chance now. Now we've got a bit of a gap to the car ahead, Bando Biz. It gives us a chance to see what kind of pace we've got when we're not stuck behind the soft runners. See how easy it is to close up to these guys. I think the gap was 1.4 seconds when Scope pitted to Bando Biz. So yeah, now we get a bit of a chance to see what we can do on these mediums. See if we can maybe pull a slight gap to the hard runners, but yeah, you can see we're already within a second, so the pace is definitely better than the soft runners at the moment, but there's just nothing we can do down the straight when they have the DRS of the car ahead. So it's at least promising that we've got decent pace at this point. You see we get pretty poor traction out of there, which is a corner I was struggling with just the whole weekend or whole race. Was that corner, getting the traction out of there. But move on to lap 6 at the hairpin. Bando Biz and Finn Marcus go side by side through there, and then they both dive into the pits. So we are now in P2 behind our teammate Beastas, who's the last of the soft runners to pit. Yeah, you can see now we've got Foxy behind us. He managed to get past J. Cole, who I think made a mistake and dropped quite a few positions. So yeah, we just want to push on now, keep it consistent, and yeah, we couldn't pull away from the guys on the hards. Their pace was just too similar at this point to do anything. So yeah, it looks like they're going to be sat behind us now. I think it's only the 2 Renaults as we break the DRS from Foxy, break the slipstream, sorry, from Foxy. As we just want to hold on to this position for a bit so that we don't have the 2 Renaults pressuring us from behind as our teammate pits. So we move on to lap 8, come out of the long corner onto the straight. This time though, Foxy's just too close. There's no point wasting all my ERS, so we just let him past. No point fighting that. Yeah, it just cost us both times. So just want to sit behind him now. We've got Harry right behind us on the hards. Yeah, so we've got 3 hard runners behind us now, who will all obviously be quicker at the end, but yeah, still we can still score good points from this. Sitting in second, obviously other people have pitted, but we should be much quicker than them at the end because their tyres will be pretty warm by the end of the race, the guys who pitted early. But as you see, we come into this hairpin and we get completely dive bombed by a Renault, who at the time I thought was Harry, but it was actually Hercules who dived up the inside of both me and Harry, and yeah, that's given us damage. So we've got a yellow front wing. I guess luckily we weren't far away from pitting anyway, but you can see the understeer is just too much to carry on. I was actually considering staying out because I don't actually drop as much as I expected, but over the course of a few laps it would have just been, I'd have just been slowly losing more and more time. So Yeah, it's very disappointing that happened, because I felt we could have had a really good race from the position we were in, but it's not all over just yet. There's still 18 laps to go, so yeah, no point giving up, because you never know what can happen in this race. But yeah, you can see, dive into the pits now to put on the hard tyres, which will still comfortably make it till the end from this point. But yeah, just disappointing, because we're going to lose a lot of time, about 8 seconds in the pit stop now, and our hards won't be as fresh as they should have been towards the end. So our pace difference between the guys who pitted earlier, who started on the softs, won't be as big as it should be towards the end of the race. But there's nothing we can do about it now. We've just got to get on with it. You can see Rudy behind us retired, so we are now effectively in last place. Yeah, which is frustrating. You can see 9 seconds to the guys ahead. As we come across the line now, Burmeister's in the pits, so now we'll move up to 13, but still, yeah, still a big gap. And as we come on to lap 18 now, nothing happened. I was just by myself. Andre, who was doing the two-stopper, he's on the mediums. He passes us now. Again, no point fighting it. So yeah, back down to 13. So it's looking at this point like it's going to be a pretty lonely race from now on. We were slowly catching Scopefielder, but not particularly quickly, by a few tenths a lap, and still that was only for 11th. So yeah, it's looking at this point like it's just going to be a pretty lonely race until you can see there Burmeister retires from the session and a safety car comes out, which is what I had been waiting for for about 10 laps. I'd just been praying for a safety car. You can see we boxed this lap to get fresh tyres for the last 9 laps of the race. We decided to go for the mediums because the softs burn out so quickly, and they also were very prone to overheating, so we decided to go for fresh mediums. You can see Finn Marcus ahead with a 3-second time penalty on the softs. But yeah, I was confident that was the right decision. You can see we jumped Scopefield in the pits because he double stacked behind Foxy, I believe, so up into 12th. So now we just need to be aggressive to try and get into the top 10. We've been given a chance to score points after it looked like we had no chance earlier on, so yeah, we've got to be aggressive from now and try and score points. As you can see, it's a bit of a messy restart as we accidentally overtake Finn Marcus too early. We have to let off the throttle, and now Scopefielder is right behind us. We go defensive into turn 1. You can see someone's off ahead of us. That's TTG Nathan returning to the track, and we just weren't aggressive enough here. We should have squeezed Scopefielder out more. See, make a bit of contact, but no damage, and yet Scope's got ahead of us now. We want to get back past him and ahead of a few people in front as soon as we can. You can see we're looking all over the back of him, but no way through. So yeah, really poor restart there. Just went too early and had to back off. Otherwise, we would have overtaken Finn Marcus too early. But we've still got chance. We've still got 5 laps left, but we've got to get past Scope as soon as we can to then try and make some progress and get into the top 10 and recover something from this race after it looked like we weren't going to do anything after that damage on lap 9. So coming onto the straight now, we used a lot of battery in Rich as well. You can see down to 50% already after only half a lap. Use all of it down this straight. We brake a bit early, and then we just can't fully commit to that move because we would have hit the back of Finn Marcus. So Scope, with the better momentum on the outside, holds it. So we're still in 13th, effectively last place on track. And as we come onto the straight again on lap 24, we're again going to use loads of battery to try and get past him, because we just need to get past as soon as we can, but it's so hard with no DRS, and when Scope has the slipstream of the guys ahead. We are too early on the brakes there. Actually cut the corner and get a warning. So again, another failed attempt at an overtake there. You can see though, Nathan there goes straight on. I'm not sure what happened to him, but he goes straight on at the final corner. So we move up into 12th. So Finn Marcus is now in 10th. So if we get past Scope, then we're into the top 10. It's a virtual safety car now, but yeah, we just need to get past Scope, and then we're in effectively 10th place. So that virtual safety car ends. As we're about to come onto the straight, we're really close behind Scope this time. This is going to be the best chance we've had at making an overtake.
Green flag.
Again, using loads of ERS down this straight. We've got DRS, but so does he, so it's not going to be an easy move as we look to his inside again. Later on the brakes this time. But as we exit the corner, we just get a snap of oversteer. So he holds 11th place, but as we come onto the start-finish straight, we get DRS that he doesn't. So we look to go down his inside, but he defends it. So we're going to have to go the long way around here at turn 1. Around such a long corner. You can see we have to try hard to hold it around the outside there, which then turns to the inside. As we exit the corner, still side by side, going into this hairpin. We've got no battery left. Again, we've got to brake really late to try and hold it around his outside to then get the inside for the next corner. And we should have it now. And we do, going into the long left-hander. We finally got past him after a good few laps of trying. But yeah, nice clean battle there. So now we are in the points when Finn Marcus's penalty gets applied, so we've just got to try and close up, try and hold Scope off. We've got to try and get a good exit here because we're not quite in the DRS of Finn Marcus, so we've just got to get a clean exit off here so that Scope can't just come flying back past us again on this straight, because we've got, you can see now, we go under 10% ERS, so we've got nothing left to fight him with. So yeah, we're pretty vulnerable here. As you can see, he closes right up to the back. We dart to the inside to cover it off. Brake a bit early, so he looks around our outside, but we hold him off there. So yeah, we just need to try and close into Finn Marcus and get within his DRS so that we're safe from Scope behind us. And as we go onto the straight on lap 27, you can see we've done that. We're within 8/10, and you can see in 9th now. J. Cole has also got a 3-second penalty, so we're actually in 9th if we manage to stay within 3 seconds of those two, which it's looking like we will do with 1 lap left to go, as long as we stay within the DRS, which we've managed to here as we go onto the long straight. We have managed to stay in the DRS of Finn Marcus, so Scope Fielder isn't going to be able to challenge us. So yeah, just trying to keep it nice and clean now, not cutting that inside of that hairpin, and then keeping it nice and clean here so we don't get a penalty. And as we cross the line, we actually jump up into 8th position as Foxy also gets a penalty, so managed to recover to the points after thinking my race or chance of points was pretty much done. So yeah, decent recovery, happy with that. A shame we couldn't have, scored the points we should have done, but still a good drive. So yeah, good race. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.